the strength training's over because now I want to get into the stretching because this is the feel-good part. I did my 2 sets and now I'm ready for the stretching. So this time what I'm going to do for stretching is I'm going to do as much of the stretching as I can being seated, because sometimes you might be at your office, at your desk, and you might want to do some stretches. So to me these are great. You can do obviously on a bench at a gym, but you can also do them seated in a chair as well. So I'm going to go through as many as we can. I'm going to hit all the major muscle groups, my neck, my shoulders, back, neck, and I'm going to hit some lower body as well. So I'm going to go get into these right away. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with the neck. This is usually the most common area that most people get irritated, especially after an exercise and a workout routine. They might have strained their neck by accident. And a lot of us have very overactive neck musculature, and our shoulders are wrapped up around our ears. So what we're going to do is we're going to be sitting on this, like I said, it could be a chair at work. You want to grab your hands underneath the side. You could be on the sides of the chair. This one, I'm just grabbing my hands underneath the bench. I'm tucking my chin into itself. Right ear, right shoulder. I'm using my left hand is grabbing low on the bench to help depress my shoulder, because you can't do this, that's cheating. I want to keep the shoulder down, using my right hand to gently push my right ear to my right shoulder. We're going to hold these 20 to 30 seconds. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to go through a little quicker, but remember, 20 to 30 seconds. If you feel a tighter side, which you definitely will from right to left, hold the tighter side another 10 to 15 seconds. Now I'm going to look down into my right pocket. I'm pulling my head in this general direction, so I'm pulling it as if I want to drop my chin into my right side pocket. This is stretching a muscle called your levator scapula. Commonly gets really tight. Good, so we're going to switch up. We're going to get the other side. Remember, grabbing as low as I can on my right side, which could be me grabbing underneath your desk chair or underneath the bench. Tuck the chin into itself. Gently using my left hand to pull my left ear to my right shoulder. And like I said, if you feel a tighter side, that's the side you hold for another 10 or 15 seconds. Good, and then we get looking down directly into my left pocket. This muscle is my levator scapula. I'm also going to show you another stretch on how to isolate this. So I want my right arm to reach up over my head, and I want you to scratch your back. You're going to use your left hand, pull that right elbow as far behind your back as you can, just to give a little bit more range of motion. And then I want you to rotate your head to the left as far as you can. I'm using my hand to give a little more pressure, to rotate as far as I can for about 10 or 15 seconds. And then I want you to pull your chin down into the opposite pocket again. So now my right arm is up, and I'm pulling my left hand is pulling my head to my left pocket. That's it, just another way of isolating the levator scapula. Good, so now left arm straight up, scratch my back, pull it back a little bit deeper to get a little bit deeper stretch. Then I'm using my right hand to rotate my head to over the right shoulder. That's it. I'm going to try to rotate as far as you can. I'm a little tighter on this side, so you'll notice I'm going to hold this one a little longer. Almost everyone who's watching this will probably have a tighter left side in a levator scapula, because everybody, about 90% of everyone, has an elevated left shoulder to compensate for an elevated right hip, which is extremely common. Very common postural imbalance. Okay, perfect. Now we've done our neck. I'm going to do some forearm exercises with all that gripping of the dumbbells. And if you're a golfer or you play tennis, it's very common to get some elbow tendonitis. So we're going to stretch out the flexors and the extensors. Your flexors are here, your extensors are here. So I want your arm out nice and straight, knuckles straight down to the floor. I'm bending my wrist and I'm rotating to the outside. It's a great way of stretching my wrist extensors. Holding these about 20 to 30 seconds. You'll notice one side a little tighter than the other. Because most of us are righties, you might notice your right side is a little bit more irritated, but it depends if you're into racket sports or golf. It might depend on which one takes the most wear and tear. That's it, and we're going to stretch. Remember, fist, knuckles down to the floor. Make it, I'm bending it a little bit deeper, and I'm rotating it to the outside. So I'm bending my wrist as much as I can, and rotating at the same time. So it's a great way to isolate all these muscles right throughout the flexors and the extensors. You can have it out straight, it can be a little lower, whatever's easiest for you. Just make sure your neck doesn't get hunched up at the same time, and your elbow stays nice and straight out. It's going to want to bend, so keep it nice and straight. That's it. Now I also want to stretch my flexors, and one of the best ways to stretch my flexors is you can do this on a desk, but I'm just going to use the bench because I happen to have it right here for me. You can also do it on the floor. So you're going to be basically pointing my fingers back that way behind you, putting a little bit of pressure down into your palms, and then lean back a little bit. And the more you lean back, believe me, you're going to feel in throughout here. If it's too much pressure, just don't lean back as far. A stretch should have discomfort, but not pain. So always try to stretch a little too little than too much, because you can overdo a stretch and then you're going to strain or potentially strain or sprain a ligament or tendon. So it's important to not go too far, but good tension is good. And if you work at a desk all day and you type, these are great stretches. Just going to hold for a good 20 to 30 seconds. If you want to do one at a time for a little bit deeper, you can do that as well. And I'm going to do that myself. Okay. Now I also want to do some great little stretches for my hip rotators. If you're seated for a prolonged period of time, your piriformis, which is a deep butt cheek muscle, gets really short and tight, and if you have low back pain, this is one of the stretches you have to be doing, and you can easily do it at your desk. I want you to cross your right ankle onto your left knee. The key here is your posture, so I need you to sit up nice and straight. Try to keep a little curvature to your back. And by curvature, I don't mean this. I don't want any of this. I want your chest up and out for me. So we're going to be just like so. Chest is up and out, and I want to lean a little forward, but not bend forward. I want the chest up and out, and pull this knee into that armpit. So right knee into right armpit, and I'm feeling this big time into my hamstring and butt cheek zone. So I'm going to hold this in a good 20 to 30 seconds. I'm a little tighter here, so I would hold this for about 30 to 40 seconds. I'm going to be technical. And remember, if you want to feel it more, just lean forward more. And by leaning forward, like I said, don't do this. Chest up, shoulder blades back. Get my butt on the edge so I can lean a little bit more. Lean a little bit, and then pull that in. It's a lot deeper when you lean forward. Just don't cheat and do that. You're going to be tempted. That's it. I'm going to hold this in. And to switch, so you can see a side view. It's going to be a little left ankle onto right knee. Chest is up, a little lean forward. Knee right into armpit. Ooh, this one's a little tight, by the way, so actually I might hold this one a little while. Because forward with my right side, that's usually tighter, but today it feels a little bit tight on the left side. So we're going to hold this a good 20 to 30 seconds, and I might even hold it 30 to 40, because it's feeling just as tight as the right side today. So we're going to hold this in. And when you're stretching, breathe, for gosh sakes. Take deep breaths in, slow, long breaths out. When you exhale is when your body naturally relaxes, and that's when you're naturally going to get a deeper range of motion. So when you exhale, try to pull in a little bit deeper. So take a deep breath in, exhale, and let the knee come deeper into you. And remember, you can still, the further you lean forward, the more it's going to kick in. Now I also have another great exercise. It's for your quadricep. And I love doing these on a bench. You can do this on a bed, you can do it on a counter, you can do it on the side of a table. But the great thing here is you're going to sit up nice and straight. I'm just going to basically my ankle onto the bench. I'm still seated on the bench. I'm angled a little bit off to the side, which you might not see so well from your angle. But if I'm straight ahead, then I'm just going to kind of bop into the bench. So I need to be angled a little bit, body up straight. I'm squeezing my butt cheeks tight to protect my low back and isolate my quad. This is all for the front of the thigh. And I'm just going to lean back a little bit. The more I lean back, believe me, this is kicking in a lot. And I like these a lot better than standing up and grabbing my ankle, because this helps stabilize my hips so I can relax a little bit, not strain my neck and strain my back, and just relax my quadriceps. That's what I'm trying to focus on here. So we're just going to let that knee drop on back. Good. I'm keeping my butt cheeks tight. The tighter my butt cheeks, the flatter my low back, and the better I isolate this. The more I arch my back, I really just deactivate my quad and I don't isolate it as much. So I'm just trying to isolate a little bit better. Good. And we do both sides. We're going to do right and the left. Hold the tighter side, which in most people's case will probably be the right leg. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch your hamstring. I'm going to do this probably in this direction so you can see a little bit better. But I want you to extend your left leg out. The key here is not, I can touch my head to my knee, but I'm not stretching my hamstring. I'm just stretching my low back when I do that. So once again, remember how I said your chest is up and out? And this one, I want to keep this little curvature. I don't want that to happen. I want to keep a nice curvature. My leg is out nice and straight, and I just want to lean down. I feel this a million times better than this. And it's because I'm keeping this arch, isolates my hamstring. So we're just going to be here. I'm just using pulling in from behind my knee to help pull down, but I'm not rounded. So here, you might only be able to get to here. I don't care where you get to. I just want you to make sure you have good posture, you isolate, because that's all that really matters. Good. If you stretch and you feel this behind your knee, that means you're stretching the tendons, and you don't want to stretch tendons. If you feel tension behind your knee, which a lot of people do, bend your knee a little bit. It's not cheating. You want to stretch and feel it in the middle of the muscle. You don't want to feel it behind the kneecap. That's not good at all. You don't want to stretch a tendon. And I'm just going to switch up. So your chest is up, and ooh, I'm considerably tighter here, so I'm going to stretch both here because I really do need this one. You might not see this angle so well, so come on this way. Over here, chest is up, I'm leaning forward. My knee has a slight bend in it because I do feel this behind my knee if I fully lock out my knee. And I'm just leaning forward. The more I lean, like reach forward, the more I'm going to round up. So just pull in from underneath your knee, keep your chest up, keep a good angle in your low back, coming on down. Like I said, if you feel behind your knee, just bend your knee a little bit. It's not cheating. It's not a good thing to feel the tendons behind your knee. Good. Excellent. Now, we've done some of the big boys. We've done some hip rotators, we've done our hamstrings, we've done our quadriceps, we've done our forearms, and we're going to get our calves as well, because our calves are a common area that we get really, really tight in. So I want to make sure we're spending some time with those as well. And actually, no, before we do that, there's a spinal rotator I can do here too, so I don't have you bouncing around too much. So with this one, you can do off a bench, you can do it seated on the ground as well. What we're going to do is I want you to elevate your left leg, and I want you to use your right hand to reach over, and you're just going to rotate over. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling this knee to my opposite armpit. So I'm pushing my left knee to my right armpit. And I'm basically trying to look behind me and get a big rotation, get a good spinal rotation here. And I'm using the bench too to kind of rotate myself. Get a good rotation here. Good. Up here and here. Now it's my right knee up. My left elbow is coming across, and I'm just rotating across. And if you hear a little snap, crackle, pop, that's just your vertebrae sliding back into position. It's not a bad thing. It's quite common. It's what a chiropractor does when he adjusts you. He's just moving the vertebrae back into position. I'm going to hold this one for a little bit. Good. And I do have another one, but it's actually kind of nice to do in this particular machine. Is I'm going to do my chest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach over. I'm going to grab this. That could be the wall. You could just do this standing as well, but this is nice to do if you're in a chair and you have a backrest. You could be sitting in the chair, put your arm up on the backrest, and what I'm doing is I'm pushing forward and I'm stretching my pectoral, which is the muscle in the front and the front of my shoulder. And if you've been at your desk all day, this is a great stretch to do. So I'm trying to rotate this direction and it's getting a good stretch here. Be careful though, don't overstretch it because this joint, your shoulder joint, is very shallow. So put good pressure, discomfort, but never pain. And I'm just going to have think of your elbow the same height as your shoulder. And we're just going to rotate over. I'm holding this for a good 20 to 30 seconds. If you feel one side tighter, like I said, hold another 10 to 15 seconds. So we're here to here. Can't really see me so well, so I'm going to skip that part. So the next one I do is the calf. I mentioned it before, so I want to definitely jump into my calf. Now I'm going to make sure that you can see my angle. And I'm going to do all this because this actually I get a really good feel here, and I think you might be able to see it a little bit better by me. And what I'm doing is I'm just having my heel drop down to the ground, stretching the upper portion of my calf, called the gastrocnemius. I'm going to do a little rotation off to the side. When I rotate, I hit some of the different muscle fibers. So I'm just letting the heel drop down. That's it. And just so you get a little bit of clarity, if you're doing this on the wall, you can have your foot up on the machine. Or it could just be a little elevation, it could be a book. It doesn't have to be high tech. And actually, but the next one, I'm going to come back to here. I want you to bend your knee about 20 degrees. And I'm going to let your knee just slide a little forward. That's it. And this is just stretching the lower portion of my calf. It's called your soleus. So once again, I want to rotate both directions. I'm putting weight down into my heel. Come in here, good. If you need to feel it more, you can lean in a little bit. That's it. And do both sides, of course. Always do both sides. Aim for about 20 to 30 seconds. There's a tighter side. Hold for about another 10 to 15 seconds. But this is a great stretching routine.